Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're back with some more gameplay. Today we're playing Protection Black Widow with some S.H.I.E.L.D synergy, and we're facing off against Expert Kang. I don't have that much experience playing against Kang. It's a scenario that's a bit more interesting when you play multiplayer, but so far in my limited experience in solo, it's still been pretty cool. Now we're going to take a second to talk about the deck we're playing today. This is actually not a deck that I've built, but there are timestamps in the description below, so if you want to jump straight to gameplay, please don't hesitate. But first, if you want to take a second just to leave a like on the video, I promise you that helps the channel a heck of a lot. So this deck is actually a deck I found online. I've been actually relatively busy the last couple of weeks. As you might know, we are not streaming, unfortunately, on Fridays anymore. So I haven't had a lot of time to build some decks, but finding this, which was posted by Solo Marvel Champion just 3 days ago, I believe, on Marvel CDB, has been a really cool deck. I've wanted to revisit Black Widow because Black Widow got a bunch of new tricks. We have some really powerful preparation cards, things like Practice Plan and Ready for a Fight, which have been showing up in just basically every protection deck I've been playing to some extent. And so this list kind of swings into it and also plays a lot of the S.H.I.E.L.D cards for a S.H.I.E.L.D support package and playing cards like Return the Favor, which I've never actually played before. Again, the link to this is in the description. I'm still going to take a second to break down the deck and talk about the cards in it. This is my first playthrough with this deck. We've been pretty time limited, but this looks like an absolute treat and you can find it in the description. Go give a like and a comment if you'd like. So let's talk about this deck. We're playing Black Widow, one of the older heroes from the first wave. This Avenger Spy comes in with a 2/2/2 stat line and only 9 health. 2/2/2 stat line, not too bad. We can thwart for 2, which is sometimes one of the biggest hurdles when you're playing solos, specifically if you're not playing Justice. But the ability here, Widowmaker says after you trigger the ability of a preparation card, you control, deal 1 damage to an enemy. This is on 1 ever ability, so we trigger a lot of preparations. That's a lot of damage. Now, the deck has, I think, about a dozen preparations, and they're all very powerful cards, and we have the ability to recur them, so we won't be struggling to get value off of this ability. Just to show you the other side, and we're going to be doing this a lot. Now, I think this is a hallmark of the decks I've been enjoying recently, particularly in solo and also particularly in protection, is I love jumping to alter ego, which if you play solo, you know that can be quite difficult. And Natasha's ability is fantastic. After we play a preparation card, once per phase, we can draw a card. A lot of our preparations are relatively cheap, so this just draws us more cards and lets us set up super aggressively. This deck is built so we can jump down to alter ego pretty consistently because we want to fire this ability and keep the preparations flowing. So we'll just keep that in mind. Alter ego is really quite strong. Now we have 2 of these bigger attacks and thwarts, so 2 copies of Covert Ops and Dance of Death. These cards are just fine. They're workhorse cards. Covert Ops, 4 threat and a confuse is great. Very important. This is an action, not a hero action. So you can do it in alter ego, which is kind of a rare treat. And I want to shout out Dance of Death. That is 3 attacks that do 1, 2, and 3 damage. The way this is actually modernly templated, they're each attack traded. So if you are stunned, it only stops the first attack for 1 damage, and then you have the 2 damage and then the 3 damage. So otherwise, 6 for 3 is not amazing in this game, but the fact that it is divided damage and it can beat toughness, you generally don't waste damage and can deal with multiple targets. Now we start looking at the preparations, and we have 2 of each of these 3 base preparations in our deck, and they're all very powerful. Acrobatics first for 1, it says when a boost card is turned face up, you cancel the icons on that. Now, not the star icons, just the boost icons, and then you return the damage. And of course, whenever we do our hero ability, that means we'll be doing that damage plus 1, because of course we fired a preparation, and this damage doesn't have to go to the villain, but the acrobatics damage does. Now we have 2 defense and we want to be blocking. We can get up to 3 defense. So this ensures that we won't be taking more damage than just what it says on the villain, their natural attack damage, because of course the boosts we don't sweat. Now grappling hook is incredibly strong. This just says that when you reveal a treachery, cancel the effects of the treachery and discard it. Now it's not the when revealed effects, it's all of the effects. So you cancel surge and insight, which is quite good. This is expensive, but it's also tech traded. Our deck also has a bunch of tech synergy, so we can grab tech cards, but this is one of our most important cards because the encounter cards are usually quite bad, and canceling them means we can actually be a bit more aggressive. Finally, Widow's Bite. In this scenario, it'll be okay. I think there's about maybe 10 minions in the deck and they're relatively small. This says after a minion enters play, discard this and do 2 damage and stun the minion. And of course, with Widowmaker, that can be 3 damage instantly. Unfortunately, from my understanding, Quick Strike fires before this, which I know people are frustrated with that idea, but I do think Quick Strike happens before. I think Insight might or might not. I'm not 100% sure, but a very powerful ability to keep those minions in check. Now, these are our stock preparations, but we have a couple other that we're adding, and these are new preparations that came from the S.H.I.E.L.D cycle. And if you know me, these are incredible. Specifically Ready for a Fight has been showing up in every protection deck I've been playing. It's a protection staple. We have to pay a physical for this, and we do have wild generators, so we're not going to struggle to hit this on the table. And it says when an enemy would scheme, instead, you jump to hero mode if you're not in hero mode, and they attack you instead. This is just one of the easiest ways to always jump down to alter ego every single turn, so we can do our alter ego ability on Natasha, and it's just so powerful, so flexible. With this, every turn we're going to try and jump down because we can recur this, so we're going to be constantly going from hero to alter ego, and then when the villain activates, immediately back up to hero, which is great. Practice plan as well from the shield box. It's a preparation, and it just says when you discard another preparation, instead return it to your hand. And of course, because this is a preparation, it'll deal another damage with Black Widow, and this ensures we can do grappling hook into grappling hook into grappling hook, or ready for a fight over and over again. For 0 cost, you cannot ask for better, just some instant recursion. You do have to watch out, and I actually really like this. Both of these are max 1 per player, so it really incentivizes you to use them, not for the best value, but just kind of the immediate value, because you're going to have more practice plans coming up. And I really like that, because classically when I play Black Widow, I would keep the grappling hook for the worst encounter card, not the average encounter card. And now you can just send it on the average encounter card. You don't have to be too clever about it. Just send it, because it'll probably come back. Now we have some support cards for preparations, because it's a really strong angle. We have 2 copies of Black Widow's Gauntlets. This thing just generates wild resources for preparations, which is perfect. It's also tech traded, which we have some synergy with. Another tech traded card, Synth Suit, gives us +1 defend, and it says after you trigger a preparation, we can ready ourselves. It's a bit tricky to fire this during the hero phase, but during the villain phase, if we attack acrobatics after we defend and we exhaust to defend and we find some boost icons, that will ready us. And so we're ready into the hero phase. Same idea as if we block and then we reveal a treachery, grappling hook cancels it, and we're ready into the hero phase, which is kind of what you want to be because our stats are not that bad. Safe House 29 might be the most absurd card here. In Alter Ego, we can search our discard pile for a preparation and just add it to our hand. It's our choice, so we can always bring back the most important thing that can just be ready for a fight over and over and over again. We'll have the resource generator, so we won't be paying for this. And of course, in Alter Ego, this draws a card. It is just one of the wildest Alter Ego supports in the whole game. Your whole deal is about preparations because they do damage, they draw cards, they basically cancel activations. This thing does everything, and it's up to you to have that sort of toolbox, which will be your discard pile. Now, allies, we're running a fair few allies, and I think we have good reasons to because we are a S.H.I.E.L.D. synergy deck. So in fact, all our allies besides our base ally are S.H.I.E.L.D. traded, and we have some good benefits for that. So firstly, we have Winter Soldier, who hopefully costs nothing. Their cost is reduced by every preparation. It's not hard for us to have 4 preparations, but even paying 1 or 2 for a 2/2/4 health is a deal. We also have White Widow, which is a new card that's just been so good. Not only S.H.I.E.L.D. traded, whenever we fire a preparation card, we can heal White Widow for the cost of that card. And while we have 2 cost and 1 cost preparations, that means White Widow will be on the table forever. Will just not go away. Playing Nick Fury because, well, we're playing on Expert and Nick Fury is just a really, really good card, but our deck has extra S.H.I.E.L.D. synergy, so we'll have even more value by playing Nick. Speaking of that, Mockingbird, not a card I've been playing that much since the core set, but the stun's obviously good and S.H.I.E.L.D. traded, so we'll get our S.H.I.E.L.D. synergy points. Melinda May's also on this deck, and I'm not sure if I like Melinda that much. She's very expensive, her stats are good, and she's S.H.I.E.L.D. traded, and she says that you can look at the top of the encounter deck. At least you'll know if the acrobatics is going to line up. If you find something rude, if the villain is stunned or confused, you also can control a bit of the treachery card or the encounter card that you'll be getting. Finally, Agent 13, who is very, very flexible, also quite expensive. I do think our allies are really pricey as much as we have ways to make S.H.I.E.L.D. cards cheaper. But after Agent 13 attacks or thwarts, we can ready a S.H.I.E.L.D. support. And we have a bunch of options, but if we're Alter Ego, Safe House 29 can fire twice, and that is just 2 card draw. And then, of course, preparations we can cheaply put on the table. Some very, very strong allies. Now, this is a card I've never played before. I was really excited to see in the list because it does line up really well. It's Return the Favor. This is one of those cards that say, do a bad thing to you to get some good benefit. And this one costs 0. It says as a hero action, discard cards and from the top of the encounter deck until you find a treachery and reveal that treachery. Then if you do find that treachery and reveal it, you deal 5 damage to the villain. But the big thing here is if we have a grappling hook on the table, we're going to reveal a treachery and just deny it and then do 1 damage with a Widowmaker ability. So that means Return the Favor becomes a 0 for 6 damage, 5, and then the 1 ping with Widowmaker. And even more damage if we have like a practice plan to return the grappling hook in hand to replay the grappling hook. That is one of the few ways that we can fire Synth Suit during the hero phase. But if you just need more damage, this is a 0 for 5, 0 for 6, assuming we're not taking the treachery. And we definitely don't want to be taking the treachery. Really, really cool inclusion. Next, we have a S.H.I.E.L.D. package here. We have some very cool S.H.I.E.L.D. cards, some cards that I haven't played a lot of, but we're playing Sky Destroyer. And we have some more S.H.I.E.L.D. cards in the deck, but Sky Destroyer, the turn it comes down, it fires its own text, which I didn't know until recently. But it says after you play a S.H.I.E.L.D. card, you exhaust this to deal 2 damage to an enemy. In theory, you can ready this with Agent 13, but we have a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. cards, mostly allies, some supports. And so we'll just get that incidental damage by putting our allies into play and setting up. Speaking of ops rooms in this deck, and I don't think I love this card so much. The cool thing about this card in this deck is that it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. card. And so it's a cheap thing to play that will fire Sky Destroyer. And it says after a friendly character blocks, you can prevent 1 damage to take a threat off of his scheme. Now, in theory, if you block with your allies, our allies are not that tanky. They're not that survivable inherently. So while they could survive, that might give you some extra value. But we also can just use this when an ally dies when they're blocking, because you can still prevent lethal damage. There's nothing that says you can't prevent it. If we block ourselves, if we have 3 defense, we might be able to fire this and take no damage. This is not a perfect block deck, but Ops Room being S.H.I.E.L.D. I think is actually a bigger deal for this deck because I don't actually like this card that much unless you build into it, but it's just a nice S.H.I.E.L.D. card that you can put on the table and fire Sky Destroyer many times. We're playing Winter Widow, Soldier Spy. Probably should have brought this up with our ally, but again, we do have a Winter Soldier in our deck, so if that ally is in play, we can play this card. It's okay. 4 damage and grabbing a preparation and putting into play is not bad at all. We don't struggle with recursion. I've been kind of underwhelmed with this card so far. I think it's a lot better when you're playing Winter Soldier. That text just kind of works out a bit better in Winter Soldier's kit. Definitely worth a shot. If it lines up well. Everything else we have is resource generators and some resources. So we're playing all of these, which are all shield cards. Leo Fitz can search for a tech card, and we have a fair few tech cards. Not only nearly half of our preparations, but a lot of our important setup cards like Synth Suit and our gauntlets comes down for only 1 if we're in alter ego as S.H.I.E.L.D. and can fire the Sky Destroyer. We have Government Liaison. Again, we have a fair few shield cards. This is how you make those ops rooms a bit cheaper. And instead of the Quinn Carrier, we're playing the Helicarrier, which is kind of comparable, but is shield traded and is a cost reducer. Otherwise, our resources, we're playing 3 of the basics, energy, genius, and strength, like we usually do. And we're playing 1 copy of the Power in All of Us and 1 copy of Power Protection. Power in All of Us gives us doubles to set up our basic cards. We have a lot of those. A lot of our allies are basic. And then Power of Protection is a double as long as you're playing a protection card. We don't have that many expensive protection cards. This lines up okay with Ops Room. I want to say that this deck is actually 42 cards, so it's 2 cards bigger than it needs to be. But one of the cool things you find when you start playing Black Widow is that you have so many cards installed on the table because you're spamming out a lot of your cheap upgrades and they stick for a turn or two, that you end up cycling your deck really aggressively once you're set up. So having a couple more cards in your deck means that you might not set up as elegantly or as quickly, but that means when you do set up, your deck has a longer life, so you're not drawing an encounter card too quickly. It's a very cool list. I'm excited to try it out. We've been playing a lot of decks which are old heroes that got cool cards in the latest S.H.I.E.L.D. cycle, and this is no different. So we're going to shuffle this up and give it a shot. Now we're playing against Kang, and specifically Expert Kang, which is an interesting villain. I don't have that much experience. I think I've only played against Kang maybe a handful of times. So we'll start here with Kang's arrival. We're playing against Expert Kang, so we actually do start on Expert Kang 1, which is a bit different than other villains. And then we're just playing stock encounter sets. So it'll be Kang and then Temporal. Kang has a lot of cards, 26 cards, 8 obligations, and a lot of those obligations we have to jump to Alter Ego, which might not be too hard, and Temporal is mostly some small minions and 1 big T-Rex, so this will be where the minions come from. The setup says set each Kang 2, 3 in Kang's domain aside out of play, and then remove each player's obligation card from the game and shuffle encounter deck. So we're not actually dealing with our obligation. I'm not 100% sure the reason why. I think there's enough obligations in the deck. Shuffle encounter deck, and then we'll flip this thing over. Now, there's a whole big pile of main schemes there. You're not going to go through all of them. Randomly, one of the timelines gets chosen, so we won't be seeing all the main schemes. So there's a fair bit of replayability in Kang. All right, we'll give that a cut, and we'll flip this over. Kang's arrival. The back says, Kang believes that by defeating Earth's mightiest heroes, the rest of the planet will submit to his rule. Only 7 threshold, and if this is completed, we do lose the game, and when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. And that's that. Let's look at Kang. Again, this is Expert Kang, which is an entirely different set. Not a lot of villains work like this. We have Kang the Conqueror, 15 health, toughness, schemes for only 1, attacks for 3. And it says Forced Interrupt. When Kang attacks you, either place 1 threat on the main scheme or Kang gets +2 attack. So 5 attack is a lot. We only have 7 threshold on the main scheme, so even scheming for 1 can be a bit of a problem. And when defeated, we advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. Now, the phases 2 and 3, I think, are usually a bit more difficult, so we might just set up a bit in phase 1 and survive phase 1. We might not just like full send to try and find out what phase 2 is. And again, what phase 2 is going to be entirely random. There's a bunch of different options, and they all have different keywords, and they work slightly differently. But with that, just give this one last shuffle, and we should be off. Let's slide this over. Get our ready token. We start in Alter Ego. Again, now when we mulligan, we want to make sure we get at least 1 preparation on the table, so we get that free card draw, which is quite nice. We're trying to look for our gauntlets for a setup and our synth suit for some ready. It'd be nice to get as soon as possible the Sky Destroyer, because it's a really cool synergy piece, or a Government Liaison. Any of our resource generators will take all of those. We have 5 resource cards, so finding a double in our opening hand shouldn't be that difficult, as much as we're on 42 cards. Let's give this a shot. Play some Protection Black Widow to fight off Kang the Conqueror. Cut. Draw 6. First card. Helicarrier. We can definitely keep that. It's a research generator. At 3, it's a bit pricey. I'll put that in the maybe camp. We might get a cheaper research generator. Mockingbird. Okay. Also not that bad. 2/3 costers is really hard for a 6 hand size, but this will put a stun off, so we don't have to worry about Kang's massive 3 to 5 attack. We have Ops Room. I don't think we're going to keep this. I don't think this card's actually that good until you have your Sky Destroyer and the way to play this cheaply with your Government Liaison. Not a huge fan of this card. We have a Black Widow Gauntlet. That's really important to set up. We definitely want to find a preparation. I think we have 12 in the deck, so we should be able to find one, but this will get our card draw. This is the one card we definitely keep in our hand. Practice Plan, okay. Not perfect because it doesn't do anything unless it has support, but it is the cheapest way to just install it and draw a card with an Alter Ego. And finally, we have another Ops Room, which there's no shot we're keeping those. So I think we're not going to keep Ops Rooms. Practice Plan's a maybe. Mockingbird might be a bit too expensive. If we don't have a double, it's 4 cards to play Mockingbird, which only leaves us with 2 cards. So in theory, we could play Mockingbird for 3 cards, We could play practice plan, draw a card, play the gauntlet. Maybe that's it. If we draw another one coster, that'd be okay. Maybe we could just have Mockingbird because Kang does attack and it buys us a fair bit of breathing room because we get the stun and then we get the chump block on the next turn. I think we might consider Mockingbird. Drawing a double here would be fantastic. So I think we'll keep these three and we'll throw out the Helicarrier. Feels bad, but we have a bunch of other resource generators in the deck that we can get. And I don't think we can play Mockingbird and the Helicarrier without sacrificing the rest of our hand. Hopefully we draw a one cost preparation here. I think that'd be the best case. Winter Widow, okay. We're not going to hold on to this. It's not that good. But if we have the setup, we have the setup. Another practice plan is a bummer. It is max 1 per player. And then we have the Sky Destroyer, which I don't want to discard this card. So we probably won't because this makes our shield synergy package make a fair bit more sense. So we'll keep and we're off. Almost entirely basic cards. I think here there's no way we don't start by playing a practice plan. Not that it does anything, but as soon as we play it, which we will, alter ego, we can draw a card. So we draw into a Nick Fury. Does that change everything? Nick Fury draws 3 cards. So you pay basically 5 cards to draw 3 cards. Not that bad. If we play Nick Fury, we don't really need Mockingbird because we can block with Nick. So I think we probably just play Nick here for 4. We can get rid of the gauntlets or you can get rid of the Sky Destroyer. I'd rather set up with the Sky Destroyer as soon as possible because it's a really fun engine card. But that means we lose 1 gauntlet. There's 1 more gauntlet in the deck and all of our expensive preparations or more than 0 preparations are still left in the deck. So if we play Nick for 4, we draw 3. Those 3 play Sky Destroyer. Unfortunate, but I think we'll get the Sky Destroyer down on this turn and we can afford to do so. So play Nick. We'll pitch 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, throwing out 1 gauntlet, which maybe is not the play. With Nick Fury, we'll just draw 3 cards and Nick only lasts 1 turn, so we'll block with Nick when Kang attacks for 5. We'll draw 3. We get another practice plan. Bummer, they're all out. There's the Government Liaison. That's probably worth playing, but I don't think unless we get a double. We didn't get a double. We got ready for a fight. So Government Liaison, also quite nice. It means all our shield cards get cheaper, and we have some very expensive shield allies still in the deck. If we pay 2 for the Liaison, that's all we can do. So we're lost 2 of our generic research generators. The Liaison in our hand here, and the Helicarrier. That's not great. I'm not sure what our priority for order of setup is, but we could just play the Sky Destroyer. Or we can play Government Liaison and then just pass. We still have a lot of preparations in our deck. We've drawn every single practice plan, which is not amazing. We could technically stay down for a round, but we're drawing 2 encounter cards, so getting an advance is somewhat likely. I do want to shout out that this deck is incredibly big. There's like 50 cards in this encounter deck, so nothing's going to happen super consistently that we can play around. I think I'm just going to play the Sky Destroyer. Sorry about our resource economy, but Sky Destroyer comes in. I did not know this, that after you play a shield card, exhaust Sky Destroyer to deal 2 damage, it counts itself. So we've played a shield card, we'll exhaust it to take the toughness off. And then we'll just flip up. In hero mode, our text is not going to matter. We just attack for 2. And so Nick and us are both going to attack into Kang for 4 damage. We didn't say we're going to rush Kang down, but there's not much else we can do here. Kang is down on 11. We'll just pass, drop to 5. First card, Leo Fitz. Wanted to be an alter ego for that. So if we draw ready for a fight, we can easily jump down to play Leo. It's also a shield card, which is nice. Return the favor. Probably don't want to play that until we have our grappling hook. Power of Protection. I think this card's really strange. There's not a lot of targets in the deck. It's mostly just ops room. I guess it does allow you to play ready for a fight because it's a wild. There's only 4 cards in the deck that are protection that cost more than 2. There's a ready for a fight. That's perfect. So now we can consider jumping down. And then we have a grappling hook, which is good because we definitely want at least 1 preparation. I guess ready for a fight was that preparation. All right, main scheme, Kang's arrival. I think it just gets a threat. Doesn't have actual text that we care about. And now Kang is going to activate. Kang says, attacks for 3, and when Kang attacks, either place 1 threat on the main scheme or get +2 attack for this attack. We'll make Kang attack for 5, and we'll just put Nick Fury in the way. So attacking for 5. Boost card, 2 boost icons on stolen memories, no text. So Nick Fury is defeated. We get 2 encounter cards. Again, we have no preparations that will interact with these. First card is Rampage. When defeated, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the player. Defeated this. 4 threat and an acceleration. 4 is relatively high for us. We do thwart for 2, but we mostly are relying on our allies if we didn't draw a covert ops. Next up, Temporary Shield. Attached to Kang. Force interrupt when Kang is attacked. Discard this. Prevent all damage from this attack and deal 1 damage to the attacker. Max 1 per attack. That's not too bad. All right. Notably, Sky Destroyer is not an attack, so we can always sneak some damage through. But if we ever attack to get rid of that, I don't think it's really our priority. Again, we want to set up more than we want to rush out Kang. So it's back to us. Good thing about ready for a fight. We can always just jump down if we're worried about scheming and then just play this to draw a card. The question is, what are we doing with our basic activation? And I think I'd rather just work on Rampage here. We could, in theory, play Return the Favor if we really wanted to, but I don't want to do all the damage. In fact, with Kang's Shield, it prevents all damage. So that seems like a bad way to spend an attack. So I think we're just going to thwart for 2 off Rampage. And then we'll hop down to Alter Ego. Now we have a lot of things to do here in Alter Ego. I think we're just going to start by drawing a card. We could play Leo first because Leo can search our deck for a tech card. I think we can use Leo to go grab the next gauntlet, which is probably our next setup card. But I will just play Power Protection to play Ready for Fight. So we are quite ready to stay in Alter Ego for this round. This comes in as a preparation. So Alter Ego, we draw a card using Natasha's ability. We draw a Winter Soldier who can be really cheap this round. We actually can get rid of Rampage if we are not minding a minion. If we play Leo for 1, Leo can grab a card. If we pitch the card, I guess we can't play everything here. So Winter Soldier currently costs 2. We can make it cost less. I want to fire the Sky Destroyer to some extent. So if we always play Leo Fitz, Sky Destroyer will fire because we played a shield card to do 2 damage. And then we can use Leo to search for a tech card. That tech card can be one of our 1-cost preparations. We add that to our hands, we could play it, but then yeah, we can't play Winter Soldier. So maybe we throw out Winter Soldier, but I think we have a lot of threat work to do that I'd rather play Winter Soldier. So I think we'll still play Leo. We'll pitch Return the Favor for Leo. So Leo comes in, we're shield when we're Alter Ego, so it only costs 1. And now we can do Sky Destroyer to do 2 damage to Kang, which is not an attack. So Kang just goes down to 9. 1, 2, I guess we just use Leo here. With Leo, we can just search our deck for a tech card. I don't know what the tech card we want here is. It'll bring us to 3 cards, so we can spend 2 to play the Winter Soldier. We also could just hold the Winter Soldier and play our Gauntlet. That also might be fine. I don't think we need the Winter Soldier here. Let's just search for a tech card and see what we find. I'm not sure what our options are. So we have the last Gauntlet. This generates a Wild for a preparation, so that's a nice setup card. We did throw out the other one. We have a Widow's Bites, which that's really nice if we get the minion with the Rampage. The problem with this is that it's a hero interrupt. So we can't do this in Alter Ego if the minion comes into play when we defeat Rampage. We have 2 of those. We have a Grappling Hook, which costs 2. We have our Synth Suit, which we can't play. It costs 3. And then I'm not sure what other techs we have. I think it's just the Grappling Hook. So I think we'll just get their Gauntlets because we want that to set up as soon as possible. We threw out the other one, but 1 might just be enough. Then either we can pitch the Gauntlets and the Grappling Hook for Winter Soldier. I think we'll just set up the Gauntlets and hold Winter Soldier for next turn, who can help us deal with the Rampage. So we'll cut. We'll pitch 1 for the Black Widow's Gauntlets. Unfortunately, we're not using it. Good to get that as soon as we can. We still have a fair few preparations in our deck. And we'll pass, holding on to Winter Soldier, who will hopefully be nearly free. I guess actually not that good to keep it because we're going to be losing 2 preparations on next turn. So I actually think we discard Winter Soldier because next turn Winter Soldier will be quite expensive. Yeah, we'll just get rid of Winter Soldier and we'll pass. Drop to 6. Energy. We got the Synth Suit. That's quite nice. We have a Covert Ops. This card's really cool. We could definitely use that extra thwart, and the Confuse is quite great. We have Return the Favor, which I don't think we're going to be doing yet. Power in All of Us. We don't have a basic card and no basic card, but another Ready for a Fight means we don't have to use our practice plan unless we want +1 hand size. All right, it's Kang. So this goes to 3 because of acceleration. And now Kang here would thwart for 1. I wonder if we can decide whether the thwart is okay or not. We actually might just let this go through in hindsight because Kang only schemes for 1 in a card. So in theory, if he gets a 3 boost, I guess we do lose the game. That is the kind of the risk. But if we ever draw in advance, then we can respond with Ready for a Fight. So it's up to us whether we want to do a scheme or an attack. Throwing the whole game on a 3 boost is like maybe not a good spot to be in. Let's just quickly check how many boost cards are in this set. So Kang here has average boost is 1.6. So that's relatively high. And then temporal is average boost 1. So that's somewhat low. Now expert and standard have an average boost. I think it's about 1, right? 1.1. So I don't know. It feels bad to throw the whole game if we get a 3 boost here. So I just don't think it's a responsible thing to do. So when Kang goes for the scheme here, we will instead fire Ready for a Fight. So this is pending because the trigger will still resolve in a bit. But we jump up to hero mode and instead Kang is going to attack us. So Kang is either attacking for 5 or 3 + 1 threat. Now we look at our hand. We don't have a lot of threat removal. We have Covert Ops, which means this will be a 4, which is perfect. That's exactly what Covert Ops does. So I think we'll just go for this here. Whether we block or not, that's the other question. I don't think we do. Because if we block, we can't clear Rampage. So I think we won't block here. Kang is just attacking us for 3. Boost card, Ancient Warrior, you are stunned. Okay, so we could have stayed down, turns out, but all we hear is stunned. And now we get an encounter card. Depowered. Says you cannot play hero-specific cards. Alter Ego, discard a hero-specific card from your hand, discard this obligation. Oh, before we meant to reveal this, we actually have this trigger. Sorry, this is a bit awkward. We need to keep this in mind. So we did see this, which sucks. So I won't fire practice plan. We just have to remember our hero ability says that after we do this, we can ping a damage. It's not an attack, so we'll definitely hit Kang for 1. We're not going to not do that. And then we won't return this with practice plan because I saw the next card. We have another one in hand, so we can jump down, no problem. So that's fine. But just to go back to Depowered, it says that we can't play hero-specific cards. So we can't play Covert Ops until we get rid of this. The only way to get rid of this is to discard Covert Ops or Synth Suit, or we can maybe get a tech card with Black Widow's Gauntlet. All right. It's an obligation. There's a lot of these in the deck, and now it's back to us. Up here in hero mode, there's not that much that we have to do. We can always take out Rampage, which I think we do. So we'll just Support for 2 on Rampage. So that clears Rampage, and Rampage says discard cards on the top of the counter deck until the minion is discarded. I don't know what the minions do. We did just see one that has Quick Strike for 2, which maybe is not that bad. But there are some that I think just have Guard and Retaliate. Okay, Quick Strike, we found the little one. So we're going to take a bit of damage here. That's an Ancient Warrior, comes in with only 2 health. If we had our Widow's Bite here, it does not beat Quick Strike, which is unfortunate. So we'll just take 2 damage here. We can't block. Down to 7. Okay, this guy schemes for 1. I think that's totally okay. We can knock it out by playing a shield card, which is great. And here we'll jump down to Alter Ego. So we want to get rid of Depowered. It's either we get rid of our Covert Ops, which seems a bit more important to our plan. So I think we actually discard the Synth Suit, which I don't feel great about, but I don't think there's a way around this. We need to play the Covert Ops. So we'll discard this, and then we just get rid of Depowered. I also think there's a bunch of cards in Kang that scale the more obligations you have in front of you, so you don't want to fall behind and just let the obligations stack up. It is a way that Kang attacks you uniquely, so we'll get rid of this in Alter Ego. Okay, here we have Preparation, so we might as well just use Leo Fitz here to search our deck for a tech card. We can do these 3 for this. Gauntlets can play Ready for a Fight, so then we'll have 1 resource left over, so Leo Fitz can go grab a Widow's Bite, I think. So we'll use Leo to search our deck. I don't think we're playing a shield card this turn. I don't think there's a way we can play a shield card this turn. So we'll use Leo, search our deck for a tech card. I think there's only a couple options, either Grappling Hook or Widow's Bite. So we'll just take the Widow's Bite. Oh, we'll play the Widow's Bite. We'll draw a card. Yeah, I think it's almost always right to do Leo before you do your card draw on your Alter Ego, because if we draw the Widow's Bite, we lose a card draw. I guess there's other tech cards. So now we're going to just use Black Widow's Gauntlets and play, before we play the Widow's Bite, we'll just play Ready for a Fight again. Now in an Alter Ego, that means we can draw a card. So we will. Another Covert Ops, not super useful. So yeah, I guess we don't fire Sky Destroyer this turn. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 Covert Ops. So we're going to stay down this round. It says remove 4 threat from a scheme and then confuse the villain. So Kang is confused. The rest of the hand here, I think we can hold on to a Covert Ops for next turn, but there won't be a lot of threat to remove. There'll only be 2, so it's not a great keep. So I think we'll just like use the power in all of us to play this Widow's Bite. So now if we're in hero mode, when a minion comes into play, we can stun it and deal 2 damage. And I don't think we'll hold on to this Covert Ops. I think we have a Ready for a Fight, so we're happy to jump up next round at a minimum, and we'll just throw this out. We'll pass. Draw up to 6. A really cool thing about Ready for a Fight as well is like, sure, we have a confuse, but if we draw an advance that says, you know, the card that says the villain schemes, we can cancel or respond to that instead. So you have safety on top of confuse, which that's pretty nice. Draw up to 6. Genius. We have another Widow's Bite, so we only have 1 more tech card in our deck. A Melinda May, she's really expensive, but we might be able to get her down. White Widow, that's probably our priority there. Grappling Hook, so now there's no more tech cards in the deck, I don't think. Leo, unfortunate, and then Dance of Death, which could be a nice way to clean up the Ancient Warrior. All right, this goes to 1. Kang is confused. And then Ancient Warrior there with only 1 thwart just schemes for 1. So this goes to 2. We draw a single encounter card. Wow. Okay, wow. I did not know all 3 of them were in a row, but this has Quick Strike, which we don't care about. So this might just be a perfect turn for Dance of Death. Again, Dance of Death has been technically eroded. It should be 3 separate attacks. So it should say like bracket attack, deal 1 damage, bracket attack, deal 2 damage. So if we do Dance of Death, it will take the stun off from the first knife, and then the second and third knife will hit the 2 warriors if we send them that direction. All right, I'm just going to use Leo Fitz really quickly. I'm convinced that there's nothing in our deck that we can get access to. It's a shame that we did not draw yet into our safe house, which is great. It's also a cheap shield card, but there's literally no tech cards in here, so we just fail. Minion also did come in, but we can't fire Widow's Bite. Just remember that it is a hero action, let alone our Widowmaker thing is hero only, so we can't respond to it entering the play. Okay, no preps in hand. Oh no, we have Grappling Hook. We can play Grappling Hook, and so we should. The other options, we can play Widow's Bite. I don't think we need a second Widow's Bite. We just need to plan out this hand, because this is the only thing that we have, the Gauntlets, to reduce the cost of our preparations. And we want to play one because it draws a card, so you want to do that sooner than later so you can plan your turn a bit better. So either we play Widow's Bite for free. I think we definitely want to get White Widow down. So if we do, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 for White Widow, and that leaves us with this. This cannot play Dance of Death. Is it that big of a deal that we do Dance of Death? I don't think it is. White Widow's a shield, so she can take out 1 Ancient Warrior. We are stunned. We can't do the second Ancient Warrior. But if we play Melinda instead, Melinda can take out an Ancient Warrior. That might actually be what we do instead of playing White Widow. And then we'll just hold White Widow, because she can take out 1. Her shield trait with the Sky Destroyer can take out the other. So if that's the case, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 for Melinda. So first, we probably play the Widow's Bite, and unfortunately not the Grappling Hook. If we play the Grappling Hook, we do 1, 2. For the Grappling Hook draws a card. So let's play the Grappling Hook. It's actually more important. We already have a Widow's Bite, and we've seen a fair few minions already. So we'll exhaust this to generate a wild for a prep, and then we'll pitch the Widow's Bite for the Grappling Hook. Really important we get one of these down just so our Return the Favors can do something. And then, of course, with our Alter Ego, we'll draw a card. It's another Dance of Death. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here we can just jump up. There's nothing else we have to do. We're gonna have to clear some space up. So now we're gonna pitch 4. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 for Melinda May. One of the newer S.H.I.E.L.D. allies that came out in the last Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box. She's expensive, comes in with 3 health, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2 with 1 consequential. And after she uses a basic ability, we can look at the top of the deck. That'll be the boost card. You can discard it. So if we see a really nasty boost, let alone we'll know what the boost is. But importantly, she is S.H.I.E.L.D. So we can fire the Sky Destroyer and just do 2 damage to an Ancient Warrior and clear one of those up. And then I think with her, we'll just attack for 2, knocking out the second Ancient Warrior. But of course, we get to use her ability. So we get a look at the top of the counter deck. And it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's only one of these in the deck. It is 3 boosts, which is a lot. We can just discard it. Kang will be attacking for up to like 6, which I don't think we want to deal with it. We'll just discard the T-Rex for now and hope the next card's a bit better, as much as we have no idea what it is. Our hand is White Widow. I think we keep White Widow. She's such a good card. We definitely want that. Sky Destroyer is exhausted. So either we thwart for 2 or we attack for 2, which will take the stun off. I think we'll just thwart for 2 here. We'll pass. Drop, we'll hold on. We'll draw up 4 more. So we get Agent 13. We'll get the Safe House. I was waiting for that. We have the Acrobatics. And I think there's 1 more in the deck and a Strength. So should be okay that we can play at least the Safe House to set up. I would love to play Agent 13 as well. She's quite powerful. And we did an okay first cycle. Second Gauntlets would have been good. The Liaison, the Government Liaison would have been great. But we set up our first couple turns. We had to throw out a bunch of our resource generators. That's back to Kang. We put 1 threat here. Now, Kang either attacks for 3 in a card and a threat or 5 in a card. I'm okay taking the threat. And I think here we actually will defend because we're going to have enough allies on the table that the allies will be able to deal with the main threat. So we'll just defend for 2 here. I guess if we don't defend, we can just recover for 3 when we jump down with ready for a fight. So I guess that's a bit better because we just heal more. Because when you defend, you're functionally just recovering 2, right? So I guess we don't block. Yeah, I guess we don't block. So attacking for 3 in a card. No boost, assault. Nice. So that's good to know what these are. So we take 3 damage. We're down to 4. And then we draw 1 encounter card, which again, we can always cancel with Grappling Hook. And I think we will. This seems like the one that you want to cancel here. So advance. That would mean Kang schemes for 1 in a card. Not the worst. We can't lose to that. But we might as well just use Grappling Hook here as we have a lot of value. So when you reveal a Treachery, we'll just cancel the effects of that Treachery and discard it. So we won't do advance. And then here we can do Black Widow's ability. That just does 1 damage. It's not an attack, so we don't have to worry about the temporal shield. So villain goes down to 7. And here we can also use Practice Plan to do 1 more damage. And then it returns the Grappling Hook back to our hand. I think that only matters if we know exactly what we just have to plan out what our turn is, right? The 1 damage is not super consequential. Say we had another card in our hand. We'd have to play the Safe House. Attack Acrobatics is free and it draws a card, so that's fine. But if we want to play Agent 13, it would be like 1, 2. I think White Widow might just be better because she'll deal with our thwarting. We do 1, 2, 3. The card we get from Attack Acrobatics for 4. I think we add it to our hand. I think we just need enough cards here. So after you discard a preparation, return that preparation to your hand. So we get our Grappling Hook. And of course, we did another preparation. So our Widowmaker does 1 more damage, 6 on Kang. None of these are attacks, so we don't have to worry about the temporal shield, which we'll knock off sooner than later, if at all. We might actually not. I think we just might do enough damage with Sky Destroyer in the background. Okay. We can thwart for 2. Melinda can thwart for 2. If we don't deal with Temporal Shield, no one just attacks Kang. Kang will die to Widowmakers and to Sky Destroyers. So I think we will either thwart for 2 or recover. I think we'd rather recover. So we'll start with Melinda May. We'll thwart for 2. She will unfortunately will miss the cycle. So we're not going to play her twice in 2 deck cycles. That's sometimes unfortunate. You always want to watch out when your allies so you can get them back into your discard pile before you shuffle. But at least her text here is going to fire, so we can look at the top of the deck. Our boost icon is 1 boost icon on Chitauri Soldier. That's totally fine. We'll leave it on top. Okay, we will flip down in Alter Ego. Yeah, I think we just now do Black Widow's Gauntlets to generate 1 for Attack Acrobatics, which will draw a card. So this is really good. It only denies 1 boost icon, but it draws an Ops Room, which I don't know if we want to play those just yet. We will play them eventually. It's good with a Sky Destroyer, but we're not going to struggle to hit the Sky Destroyer. Leo doesn't do anything, unfortunately. So then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 for White Widow. Really cool new card. Comes in with 3 health, and she will just be healing infinitely. Because anytime that we fire preparation, heals for that much. And a bunch of her preparations cost 1 or 2, which is just good enough. Now, she's not going to be doing anything this round. I still think it's fine to put her on the table. The other options, we do Agent 13. That's okay. But hey, she has S.H.I.E.L.D., so Sky Destroyer will just ping for 2 more damage, bringing Kang down to 4. Next, we'll throw out Agent 13 for Safe House 29. This is also a S.H.I.E.L.D. card, but we've already stated that. And then we can exhaust this to search for a preparation. And while we have no resources left over, we're just going to grab Practice Plan and we'll play it so that we can bring back a Widow's Bite, Attack Acrobatics, whatever we need to. I'll just sort this in a way that makes a bit of sense. First cycle, not bad. We're going to draw 2 encounter cards. Actually, hold on. I always forget this. We only have 3 cards left, or 2 cards left now. So I guess we had to do this before. But the Chitauri Soldier is not going to be a boost card. It's going to be one of our cards that we draw because we deck out. It's just a 1/1. When it attacks you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. This seems totally fine. So I'm glad we left it. But keep in mind, when you're going to deck out, always check, because that won't be your boost card. That'll be an encounter card you draw. And then for us, we'll recover for 3 up to 7. We'll pass. Actually, really quickly, is it worth attacking with White Widow into Temporal Shield when Kang is attacked, prevent all damage and deal 1 damage to the attacker? That actually is fine, yeah. Before we exhaust, we'll attack with White Widow. So she attacks for 1. When Kang is attacked, discard Temporal Shield, prevent all damage from the attack and deal 1 damage to the attacker. So White Widow's on 1, but she'll heal immediately. So I think that's going to be quite okay. And then we'll draw up. So we're drawing Return the Favor, which we don't have a grappling hook. We might be able to get one. We have an last attack acrobatics. We deck out, so we'll draw what we know to be a Chitauri Soldier that will wait for us on the table. And then we should shuffle and draw 4 more cards. This is the awkward time, is when you empty your deck and you have nothing in your discard pile. That's the only time that Safe House 29 is not amazing. So luckily when we hop up, we'll be cracking ready for a fight and practice plan. And so if we can just get that ready for a fight loop going, which is a lot of actions intensive, and it just makes sure that like Kang will never scheme. We can jump to alter ego every single turn. I really want the government liaison because I want to start playing the ops rooms, but right now we've done almost all our damage through Sky Destroyer and it feels pretty good, let alone Widowmaker. All right, cut. We have to draw 4 more. In alter ego, we got a grappling hook. That's a nice setup for Return the Favor if we want to. There's the liaison, love it. Cheap shield card. We have Nick, who could maybe be played with government liaison, but I think we need a double. We don't get a double. We have Agent 13. I do think the allies in this are very expensive, but hey, we threw out every resource generator we drew, didn't we? All right, back to Kang. Kang puts 1 threat and now is going to be scheming for 1, which we've seen 1 advance. This actually might be okay to let go through. If we look at our hand here, I think we're just going to jump up. Yeah, I think we're just going to jump up because we can jump down. We want to fire ready for a fight. So when Kang would scheme for 1 in a card, instead we'll fire ready for a fight. So we jump to hero mode. This is technically still pending because the trigger will still resolve off of our new hero ability text. And now Kang is either attacking for 3 in a card or for 5. This might be a reasonable time for Melinda May to be a hero. The extra threat hitting the main scheme is not super relevant, but we might as well just take 5 damage to Melinda. So I think Melinda here will block. Now, technically Melinda's text works here, right? It's weird that this is not super intuitive to me, but defending is a basic power, but I'm not sure if the basic power is attached to using a defense stat or just like exhausting to defend, because I guess Melinda is using a basic power. That means we can look at the top card of the deck. It's the boost card. I don't think it matters. I'm just not going to do it, but let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but I think that is a basic activation, right? The basic power. Regardless, Kang is going to be attacking for 5 in a card. So 5 boost icons, 6, 7. So Melinda is defeated. But now we can resolve ready for a fight here, which is still on the stack, kind of. So firstly, we can do 1 damage to Kang using our hero's ability. So down to 3. So definitely in striking distance. We also can practice plan to return it to our hand. We don't have another practice plan. I think practice plan for a grappling hook might be better. Another resource is actually really good for this hand because we want to play government liaison Nick. That's really expensive. I don't mind using these to pay for cards because you can grab them back with Safe House, at least one of them. You can grab a tech card with Leo. So we actually have a lot of cards here. Yeah, so I will. So I'll do practice plan to return ready for a fight to our hand. And then we do 1 more damage to Kang. So now we're in Sky Destroyer distance. Also, of course, we fired a 1-cost preparation. So White Widow heals 1. And now we draw 2 encounter cards. First card, Chitauri Soldier. Oh yeah, right. No surprise. I think that's how you pronounce it. 3 health. And then when it attacks, discard the top card of the encounter deck, take indirect damage to the number of boost icons. That's 3 health. That's probably where our next actually Sky Destroyer is going to go into. Now we have time travel tactics with Surge. Surge, when revealed, each player takes 1 indirect damage for each obligation in their play area. Yeah, so there's a bunch of cards like this. You don't want to stick the obligations. That's one of the reasons. It surges into Stolen Memories. When revealed, place the top 8 cards of your deck face down underneath this card. 6, 7, 8. And it says, as an alter ego action, discard a mental resource from your hand to discard this obligation and each face down card underneath it. That's actually a nice way to power up our Safe House 29. It's really awkward sometimes because if we search our deck with Leo Fits for a tech card, we'll know exactly what those face down 8 cards are. I'm not sure if we're allowed to look, but it is back to us. We're in a good spot, honestly. We're in a really good spot here. So we don't need to do Return the Favor, but say we pitch Return the Favor and Agent 13 for a Liaison. Liaison, which reduces the cost of the next shield card, can play Nick, and then we can draw 3 cards and we have all our like resource generators here. We'll probably have a mental for the Stolen Memories. Not my priority, but taking 8 cards out of our deck means we cycle faster. Hopefully they're not our best cards, but we only put good cards in the deck, right? So if that's the case, we'll pitch 2 for the Government Liaison. It's another resource generator on the back line. I was super surprised this wasn't reprinted in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't think it was, right? This just seems like such a good shield card. But that's a shield card, so Sky Destroyer fires off. And so we can just ping 2 damage to the Chitauri Soldier so White Widow can take it out by attacking for 1 if we want. Next, we'll exhaust the Government Liaison. Government Liaison says play a shield card from your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1. So we'll play Nick. In hindsight, if we're jumping down, we lose some value off of Nick, but we'll pay 1, 2, 3, 4. And then with Nick Fury, we'll draw 3 cards is my guess here. Yeah, we'll just draw 3. We could advance Kang. It's actually probably right. Yeah, I think we will, but we'll draw 3 cards. We get an energy. We got to return the favor. And the last gauntlet, which is quite nice. Okay, so here we are stunned. Nick Fury can just knock out Kang. Kang only has 2 more health, and at the end of the phase, we advance to whatever Kang 2 holds for us. That's probably worth it. I think we will, because then we don't have to deal with the main scheme at all. Will we hop down? I think we'll also will hop down. Nick Fury will just attack for 2 into Kang, and that will defeat Kang. But nothing happens until the end of the phase, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, advance the main scheme to stage 2 at the end of the phase. So here, we don't have anything to do besides setup, and setup we will. Unfortunately, we have no mentals in our hand. So if we want to get rid of stolen memories, which I think we do, we're going to have to get a mental icon with Leo or with Safe House. So we'll see what our options are. But we'll hop down. We could recover for 2. I think we're just going to attack to get rid of the stunned, just so Acrobatics is online. And then we'll hop down. Here, we have a couple things we can do. We can do Leo Fits first to search our deck for a tech card. Let's go find a mental icon if we have one. So not a lot of tech cards. We have Widow's Bite, which is an energy. We have our Synth Suit, which is an energy. I think playing the Synth Suit makes sense because we have a double, so we'll grab the Synth Suit and shuffle. Hopefully we find a mental on one of the cards in our discard pile with our Safe House. Yeah, Grappling Hook there on the top has a mental, so that's good. Okay, this deck also, I was very interested. This deck could play Gemma. I don't know if it needs to, but it's another resource generator for tech cards. And we do have a fair few tech cards. So if you want more resources, there's some cool things you can do with this deck to mod some of the slots. I wonder if I like Gemma more than I like the Ops Rooms, which clearly I haven't been prioritizing. Okay, then we're going to do Safe House 29. Actually, do we want to play a prep to draw a card? I don't think we can, unfortunately, but I don't think we need to. I think we just need to get rid of the stolen memories. So we'll exhaust this to search our discard pile for a preparation. I think we're just going to go for this one because it has a mental on it, and then we'll immediately discard it to stolen memories because I just want to make sure there's as few obligations as possible. So we'll discard this to get rid of stolen memories, and then we'll reveal we lost a Grappling Hook, both Dance of Deaths, a bunch of resources, our Winter Soldier, an Ops Room, and a Ready for a Fight, so that's totally fine. Then we'll just do double plus return the favor for a Synth Suit. I think we'll hold on to the Gauntlet. I don't think we can play it. It's quite nice. +1 defense, and if we fire a prep, we can ready ourselves, which is really nice while blocking. This is a once per turn, and it's exhausted. And then I think we don't do anything with White Widow here. Oh no, White Widow can just knock out Chitauri Soldier. Taking 1 consequential, and then we'll pass. I think we'll hold on to this. Might not need it, but why not? Oh, Kang will scheme. We didn't grab... I realized in hindsight, I was so ready to jump down to Alter Ego, but we actually didn't end up grabbing a copy of Ready for a Fight. I think we'll be okay. I'm not sure we can lose on turn 1 if Kang flips, but I guess there's a bit of a risk here. Yeah, jumping down was a bit risky because we don't have a Confuse and we don't have our Ready for a Fight, but let's hope for the best. Okay, I'll hold on to the Gauntlets. That'll be our last resource generator setup unless we get the Helicarrier down. Power Protection for an Ops Room, that'd be nice. Practice Plan, good. Return the Favor, which we haven't fired yet. There's the Helicarrier and there's the Ops Room, so a fair few options there and at least a shield card. Now, at the end of the phase, now we advance Kang. So we advance to 2A, the Master of Time. It says Kang reels back, but he saves himself by separating the heroes through time and space. Place 1 acceleration token here for each side scheme in play. Good. There's none. Then discard each side scheme. Each player reveals a random stage 3A in order. Remove any unused stage 3 schemes from the game. So this is still firing. This is out. And then there's a bunch of 3As here. They're all the different timelines. And so there are 4 options, it looks like. So I'm just going to shuffle them slightly, but I'll roll a die. So we'll do 1 to 4. 4. So we're going to the Chronopolis. These, I think, are removed from the game. Now, it says to reveal this, so we'll do the Chronopolis, and then we have to come back to flip over Kang's Wrath. The Chronopolis, when revealed, create your own game area. This is cool when you play multiplayer. We won't really experience anything different here. And place its scheme in it. Add Kang Immortus to the game area and deal yourself an encounter card. Let's go find Kang Immortus. Kang Immortus. Expert Kang Immortus. Comes in with 22 health, toughness. Very importantly, this is a different Kang by title, so any attachments or like stun or confuse do leave. It's something I think I missed the first time I played this. The villain cannot take damage while a minion is in play. That's cool. We've dealt with a lot of minions. And when defeated, remove the Chronopolis, and at the end of the phase, join another game area, which means we'll end up going back to the main game area, which is Kang 3. So this is our like fractured timeline. Deal yourself an encounter card on Chronopolis, and I think we flip this over now. After the stage is completed, place 1 set aside Kang's Dominion face down underneath the stage 4A. Okay, that's a bad thing. We don't want that to happen. At the end of the phase, remove Kang Immortus and this stage from the game and combine your area with another game. So if we fail, I think there's consequences in the other timeline. And if all the players at the stage are defeated, the stage is completed. So that's another way, but we'll lose the game if that happens. I'm pretty sure. Comes in with no threat, gets 1 in turn. So we might be in a bad spot because Kang schemes for 3 in a card. So we'll probably be okay. Now, I think we still have to flip over the Master of Time. Force interrupt, when an acceleration token would be placed on another scheme, place it here instead. So this is a main scheme that doesn't actually have threat, so we'll just have it as a reminder text up there. Players cannot join this game area unless there are no other game areas remaining. When all players have joined this area, go to 4A. So in terms of solo, this doesn't matter, but this is really interesting when you play multiplayer because everyone ends up in their own little world. And that is it. So here, now it's the villain phase. So the Chronopolis, its text is not relevant, but it'll get its 1 threat. And here, Kang Immortus is just going to scheme on us. There's nothing we can do about it because we don't have it ready for a fight. So scheming for 3 in a card. Huge boost icons under fire. That's 6, so it goes to 7. We draw 2 encounter cards. We've seen 1 advance so far, but hoping for the best. First card, Time Travel Hijinks. When revealed, discard the highest cost card you control, then place it face down underneath this card. Luckily, we can discard Nick, who's on the way out. Hopefully that's not a problem. Alter Ego, discard an energy resource. Discard this obligation. So that's totally fine that we lost Nick there. That's a nice way to get Nick value. And we got a Frozen in Time. Oh no, this one's an attachment. Attach your identity. When attached character would ready, discard this card instead. Okay, that's not too bad. And it's back to us, which I think we kind of got away with a bit there. We can't cancel things, not that we don't have a grappling hook, but basically all of our preparations, barring ready for a fight, are hero only. I guess practice plan might not be, but it is us. Do we want to do time travel hijinks? I think we might just want to consider it just so that we have less obligations in play. You discard this obligation and the card underneath it. So that's fine. That is okay. So I think we will just get rid of this just to deal with it. So I'll discard an energy here just to discard this. And then Nick goes back into the bin. Okay, so we can draw a card by playing a prep. We'll definitely do that. We can at least play practice plan. That's a good spot to be in. I would love to get a grappling hook. So I think we grab a grappling hook with Safe House. Do we have a shield card? We do with the Helicarrier. Not an incredible hand, but we'll work through this. And as long as there are no minions in play, Kang Immortus doesn't have active text, which is kind of fine. Only attacking for 2 is also not that bad. So we'll use Leo first to search our deck so we don't draw a tech card if there's only 1 left. I don't think there's any tech cards in here. Oh, Widow's Bite. Last tech card. Widow's Bite is nice because it knocks out minions and we care of not having minions. Give that a cut. So I think we'll just use the gauntlets to play the second Widow's Bite. I'll stack it. And then using our alter ego, we'll draw a card, which we drew Mockingbird. Might play that, might not. We'll use Safe House to search our discard pile. I think we're going to go here for the grappling hook just so we have full control. We can control boost cards, we can control minions, and now we can control encounters. So we'll grab the grappling hook. And then from here, we can just hop up. I don't know if we can play the Helicarrier. If we play the Ops Room, that's enough. We probably don't need the Helicarrier. I think we have enough research generators. So grappling hook, we could play like 1 for Gauntlet for Mockingbird plays grappling hook. We play practice plan, we play Ops Room. That seems good. I think that's what we want to do. And then we just have to thwart a lot. White Widow, unfortunately, is at 1 health because we didn't fire preparation. So we can't really afford to thwart with White Widow. But we don't have a ready for a fight. Actually, maybe we grab a ready for a fight just to be safe. Yeah, I think we do. I don't think we grab the grappling hook. I think we grab a ready for a fight. Just because if Kang schemes, we lose the game. So let's make sure we don't grab the grappling hook. Yeah, that's what we got from our bin. And we'll grab ready instead. Yeah, we just need to be careful. There's 1 more advance. I don't know if there's something that says like add threat equal to Kang's amount of obligations. That I guess we can't interact with. Grappling hook would be better. We just want to make sure we have access to one of these at all times. Okay, here we can hop up. Yeah, I think we can just hop up. Are we going to recover? No, I think we're going to thwart for 2. Oh, do we use government liaison in anything? That's the question. I don't think so. Hold on, let's just think about this a bit. This plays Ops Room. Mockingbird we can play for 2. And then we can play ready for a fight for 1. So I guess we could just play Mockingbird. It's nice, it's not necessary. It means we don't play practice plan, but I don't think we're hurting that much for practice plan here because we're going to be able to jump down next round. So I think we do play Mockingbird just to get a stun so we can just keep thwarting this. That might be better. Yeah, this plays this. We use government liaison for Mockingbird. We still play our ready for a fight. We don't play our second gauntlet, which is only a bit unfortunate, but I think we have enough research generators. We don't have to be greedy about it. So let's do that. Let's generate a resource with government liaison. It's going to ping the toughness, but in theory, we could use Mockingbird to take the toughness off, but I think we're just going to thwart with everything we got. So government liaison, and then we'll just do 2 more cards to play Mockingbird. Comes in with 3 health, and when she enters play, stuns an enemy. So Kang is stunned. Again, the villain cannot take damage while minions in play. That's fine. And then Sky Destroyer will ping for 2 damage, which will just take the toughness off. Okay, Mockingbird, take 1, thwart for 1. We're down to 6 of 9. Still kind of scary. Then we'll spend the power of protection, which generates 2 for a protection card. We'll play Ops Room. Comes in with 3 counters. When a friendly character would take damage, cancel one of that damage as long as it's defending, very importantly. That's a big change to this card in Energy Barrier. Energy Barrier just fires this, you have to defend. And then remove an alert counter from here to prevent a damage. This doesn't exhaust. We will thwart for 2, down to 4. And then we'll just use Black Widow's Gauntlets to play ready for a fight. So you end up running out of table space. Sorry, this is not incredibly organized. I just don't have enough space. I guess we can slide this down. So we'll put all our preparations together. We'll put Ops Room on the side here as our defense stuff. All right, we won't use White Widow. Ideally, we'll fire Attack Acrobatics here, but actually we're not because Kang is stunned. So we might not be able to heal White Widow. That's unfortunate. Maybe if we get a minion, Widow's Bite can do something cool, but we'll pass. So we don't ready ourselves. Frozen in Time kicks in. Pretty cool card. So it says when attached character would ready, discard this. And then everything else readies. And we draw 5 cards. Here we go. Covert Ops, that's nice. A Confuse. We can deal with the rest of the threat. Power in All of Us for basic card, Ops Room, Practice Plan, and Covert Ops. So nothing good for the Power in All of Us here, but we are relatively set up. So this goes to 5. Kang Immortus would attack, but is stunned, so that doesn't do anything. And we draw 1 encounter card. It is depowered. So I think this is the one that says we can't play our own cards. Yeah, discard a hero-specific card, discard this obligation. We cannot play our own heroes cards. So that's fine. We'll get rid of a Covert Ops. So here, I think we actually can do a fair bit of damage. White Widow, unfortunately, is still pretty weak. We can't interact with that. So do we have a shield card even? Yeah, I guess we have Ops Room. Yeah, okay, we're just going to continue to do our shtick. It's a lot of small actions. Like Black Widow has a lot of things going on, like a really high APM, actions per minute. And it does line up well. But so here we just want to plan out our turn. We want to throw out a Covert Ops, so we lose a card to Depowered. That's fine. Ops Room we can play for 1 with Government Liaison. That's fine. Then we don't play this Covert Ops. We can draw no cards with Leo, but 1 card with Safe House, 29. We in theory could just like let this go. We are going to deck out though. So not a great turn. We need to get this down. Maybe if we don't jump down, it's actually pretty bad because we have to get rid of Depowered if we want to play the Covert Ops. Yeah, White Widow being at 1 actually is not great here. We haven't fired a preparation in a minute. Again, our deck has no tech cards, right? Yeah, it's just our team up, which is useless and ready for a fight. So at least we'll have one of those. Okay. You got to do what you got to do here. Mockingbird with War for 1, down to 4. White Widow will stay. I think we will hop down and use ready for a fight, especially because we have a practice plan to return it if we want to. So we'll just pop down. We'll just go ahead and get rid of the Depowered by discarding a Covert Ops. So we'll get rid of this. Don't want to stack the obligations. We'll do Safe House to search our discard pile. So I think we'll get a Grappling Hook here. Just want to check our hand. We can draw a card by playing Practice Plan, which means we can just play Covert Ops. That's perfect. So we'll get the Confuse. Yeah, that's great. So we won't play a shield card, unfortunately. So whatever preparation we get here, it won't matter. So we'll just take this. It's fine because we're just going to pitch it. Oh, no, we don't need to. So yeah, that's fine. I guess it doesn't matter. So we'll play the... Wait, no, it does matter. Yeah, wait, no, we actually can take something good here because we have access to Gauntlets. So Gauntlets plus a card plays a 2. Yeah, let's get the Grappling Hook. Excuse me. Forgot we drew a card off of this. So we have 1 more resource. We'll grab the Grappling Hook and then we'll use Gauntlets plus Practice Plan to play the Grappling Hook. So this cancels encounter cards. And now using our alter ego, we draw a card. And now we still have enough cards to play Covert Ops. So we'll pitch 3 for Covert Ops. So this removes 4 threat and confuses Kang. So we don't have to jump up if we don't want to. And we cleared the threat. Unfortunately, we got no damage this turn. So that's not great. But we should be able to start just sending it, especially because we're super prepared, pun intended. So once we fly up and all these things fire, you just get a lot of like machine gun damage. We would have attacked for 2 there, but we were exhausted and we'll pass. Drawing up, we draw 1 card. It's a Winter Widow, so we get an encounter card. We'll shuffle and draw 5 more. All right, we'll cut. We need still a bunch of cards. We'd love to get our friend here, our ally. There's Melinda instead. We get ready for a fight again. We get a Covert Ops, which we probably won't need. An Attack Acrobatics, the last of. And then finally found it. That's perfect. That's exactly who we wanted for the team up. All right, main scheme goes to 1. We need to do 22 damage. Kang is confused. We draw a second encounter card. First one is Time Travel Hijinks. So this is the one where we lose our card, right? Discard the highest cost card you control, then place it face down underneath. So it's probably Sky Destroyer or Leo Fitz. I think Synth Suit actually might be it. It's not doing anything for us. Leo can grab a card here. Sky Destroyer is amazing. So we'll just get rid of the Synth Suit. So we lose our +1 defense. And then once we get rid of this, we'll get our suit back. I think all we have to do is spend an energy and we discard it. So we're going to lose it, but so far hasn't fired once. This is the one I was thinking of, Macrobots. So this is Kang's card. Has Guard Retaliate 4 health. We do actually have a 4 damage card in our hand, so we don't actually have to take the Retaliate off of this. But they're in the way. There's a couple of these in the deck. I think there's 2 more. And it's back to us. Safe House doesn't do anything. We can use Leo to search. We always can throw out a preparation and then get the preparation back. So we could always throw out an Attack Acrobatics. Do we do that? I actually don't want to play many of these cards. We missed the cycle of Mockingbird, but that's fine. So energy, can't get rid of time travel hijinks that easily. Yeah, we really can't. It needs an energy. And we don't have one here. So I'm going to go Leo Fitz and search our deck. If we find an energy icon, that might just be fine. Has to be a tech card. Widow's Gauntlets is an option. It's not tech. We'll draw a card also if we play a prep. Grappling Hook is mental. Practice Plan is energy. That's good enough. Oh, it has to be a tech, of course. I think that's it. Our Widow's Bites are on the table. So the only tech card left in our deck is the Grappling Hook. Yeah, that's okay. We discard it. We can just grab it back with Safe House. Shuffle. Cut. It's in our hand. Okay. Oh, we could have grabbed the Gauntlets too. Yeah, that was another option. So I think we just play Winter Soldier. Entirely free. Now, Winter Soldier is totally free because we have 5 preparations. 4 health is quite nice. And now we can play the Winter Widow Soldier Spy in our hand, which we're just going to set that up. It's our only energy though. That's not great. So I guess we just play an Attack Acrobatics and see what we draw into. So we'll use Black Widow's Gauntlet to play an Attack Acrobatics. That's our big damage card. We haven't fired a single one this game, but that is like your damage card in our deck, besides our Dance of Death. So now Alter Ego draws a card. We would love an energy. It's not, it's a strength. Okay. I guess time travel just stays there. I don't think we're gonna get rid of it. Safe House. If we want to, we can get a card back by pitching Grappling Hook for Melinda. I think we will do that. So Mockingbird, we'll just thwart for 1. It's defeated. And then we'll pitch 1, 2, 3, 4 for Melinda May. Shield card, so we can do 2 damage to Sky Destroyer. We will. Sky Destroyer is not an attack, so it dodges the guard on Macrobot. So we'll just do Sky Destroyer to hit Kang. So Kang is going to take 2 damage. Then we're going to use Safe House to go grab a prep from our deck, from our discard pile, excuse me. So we'll just grab Ready for Fight because we're going to just discard that card for Winter Widow anyways. We'll flip up. And now we have a prep in our deck, so we set this up perfectly. We'll pay 2 for Winter Widow Soldier Spy. We're set up with our friend here, Winter Soldier. So it says, put a preparation from your discard pile into play. So we get an expensive Grappling Hook. All of our Black Widow preparations are on the table. We literally can only have 1 more preparation in our deck, which is a Practice Plan, but we don't have one. And then deal 4 damage to an enemy. So it'll knock out the Macrobots because it's defeated. We don't take Retaliate. And now we're just going to send damage. We'll attack for 2. White Widow will stay. Winter Soldier will attack for 2. And then Melinda May will attack for 2. So we'll do 6 damage to Kang. Now Melinda May's text will kick in here, so we can look at the top of the deck. Our boost icon will be give Kang a tough status card. That seems totally fine. We'll leave that there. Kang is attacking for 2 in toughness. Super acceptable. We'll pass. We actually could discard it. I'm actually going to discard it just because we want to use our Attack Acrobatics. So I'll discard this and hope that we get bigger boost icons because then we can return the boost icons with Attack Acrobatics. We actually do want boost icons. So if we got a 3 boost again, we'd be pretty happy. All right, draw up 5 cards. Ops Room. Okay, return the favor, which we can play with Grappling Hook. That's our damage card. The Dance of Death, more damage, Agent 13, and we get a Practice Plan again. This goes to 1. Kang is going to attack now for 2 and a card. I think we can just block with our own face if we want to. I think we do. We can deny some damage with Ops Room, but for Ops Room to be active, we have to be blocking. The problem is this is where I don't love Ops Room, is if we defend for 2, we know if we're firing Attack Acrobatics, we won't take any damage, and Ops Room only fires if you take damage, so we lose a bit of value there, which kind of stinks. We can, in theory, block with one of our allies, and then like Winter Soldier will survive, but we're losing so much damage here. I think we'll still block, just so we can maybe Ops Room, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. That might not be right. 2 and a card, 2 boost icons on future weapon, so we'll do our thing. We'll do Attack Acrobatics here. So when a boost card is revealed, deal an equal amount of damage instead back to Kang, so Kang takes 2. And then Black Widow's ability attacks will fire, taking 1. So that's 3 damage. We're attacked for 2, we block for 2, we take no damage. Advance, I mean, probably not going to let that happen. It's not the worst thing, but we might as well just Grappling Hook here, which means we do 1 damage and we cancel this. So this is what happens when you're set up. You just fly through things. Okay, it's back to us. We can just start stacking the Ops Rooms. I think Agent 13, again, our ally slots. Oh, White Widow, mind you, is at full health because we did do a 2 and a 1. So she heals 3. Anytime that you fire preparation, heal equal to the preparation's cost. So she'll stay around forever. We could jump down, but I think we just want to send all the damage we have. Yeah, we definitely do. So 1 threat, we don't care. We'll start with Melinda for 2. Haven't planned any of this. We're just sending damage. We get a look at the top of the deck. We want a big boost. It's the star boost of the Macrobots. I'll just discard that. Winter Soldier will attack for 2. We're down to 7, which means that we can knock out this Kang with a copy of Dance of Death if we want to. And I think we do. We're still set up with Widow's Bite, Grappling Hook, and Attack Acrobatics. So I think that's fine. We'll just start sending damage. Oh, we could actually do a Return the Favor if we wanted to. That's a 0 for 6, but it fires a Grappling Hook. I think our hand just is not that important. We return to favor because all we want to do is basically play the Practice Plan. We don't need the Sky Destroyer. So we'll just pitch 3, 1, 2, 3 for Dance of Death. So do 1 to an enemy, 2 to an enemy, 3 to an enemy. So we'll do all 6 to Kang. It's down to 1 health. Wait, did we damage Kang once when there was a minion in play? I think we might have. Yeah, I think we did. We messed this up. I'm glad we caught it. But when we did the Sky Destroyer, there was the minion in play that we fought over because of the guard. So actually Kang should heal too. So we wasted a bit of damage. So Kang is actually at 3 here. Hopefully editor Andre caught that and put some text up there. But yeah, Kang cannot take damage. So the Sky Destroyer cannot shoot over Kang. We'll just play the practice plan, I guess. If we hop down, it draws a card. I guess we can't defeat Kang. We kind of scuffed it. If we played a shield card, we could have, but we did scuff it a bit. So that's okay. We'll hop down. I don't think we have any tech cards in our deck. We probably do. I think we have one more gauntlet, right? Yeah, we have one more gauntlet. So we'll search our deck for a tech card. Yeah, the last tech card is our gauntlet. So we'll take it. Okay. We'll just use Safe House to go grab a card. I don't think it's really important what card we're going to grab because I think we're just going to pitch it. So we'll just grab Attack Acrobatics, add it to our hand. It might be greedy to set up the gauntlets. Yeah, I think it is. We don't need a second gauntlet. So we'll use this gauntlet to play Attack Acrobatics. Draws a card using our alter ego. We get the ready for a fight. We can't play it. So I guess we'll play a practice plan. And then we'll just play our second gauntlet, which we won't use. We played no shield cards this round. I thought we didn't need to. But yeah, we're going to have to do one more round here. At least we're in a good spot. If that's the case, we'll just attack for 1 with White Widow before we forget. So the villain's down to a 2 because she should be healing this round guaranteed. Okay, we won't deck out. We'll just clean up. We don't have the boost icon. We'll draw a 6. So our deck is really thin here. Power of Protection, Practice Plan, Return the Favor, Dance of Death. That will finish off another Practice Plan and a Covert Ops. This goes to 2. We could actually just let Kang scheme, but wait, when did we defeat Kang? When defeated? What does Kang say? Kang says when defeated, remove the Chronopolis at the end of the phase. So we actually can defeat it at the end of the villain phase. So that's really cool. We can actually defeat Kang by just doing ready for a fight practice plan. And then we go into the start of the hero phase with the new Kang. That's sick. I think that's actually a cool interaction that it's not super common. So Kang would scheme for 3 in a card, but ready for a fight will kick in. So we'll put that on the side and we hop up to hero mode. And now Kang is attacking us instead. We will choose to defend. I think that's totally fine. We would like to take a bit of damage here, but no matter what, we should be able to defeat Kang. So Kang is now attacking for 2 in a card and we've blocked. Boost icons, no boost icons, so we can't fire Attack Acrobatics. You got to watch out if you're counting on your synth suit sometimes for that. And so we take no damage. That's fine. And now ready for a fight has finished triggering. So we can do our hero ability to do Widowmaker. So we'll do 1 to Kang. And then practice plan, we'll discard that to do 1 to Kang and return ready for a fight back to our hand, which is not necessary. It's just an easy way to do some more damage. White Widow heals fully. Okay, we still get an encounter card here. Gang up. Okay, so it's another attack. So Kang has no health, but is still going to attack us, which is kind of goofy. The villain and each minion engage with you attack, so we're being attacked for 2 in a card. We can just block with Melinda. Do we have allies in our hand that will take Melinda's spot? We do not. Don't know how many allies are in our deck, but the worst amount of damage we could take is 5. I guess it's 2 because Attack Acrobatics can stop it. So I think we'll just take the 2 damage. Yeah, I don't think we mind. We won't block. 1, 2, 3, 4 off weakened. It's actually kind of bad to use Attack Acrobatics here because it's wasted value. Does 3 damage back. Yeah, we probably should have blocked the Melinda in hindsight because this is not great. I guess we'll use the Attack Acrobatics. So this does 2 damage back and 1 more damage because of our hero ability. So down to -3 and we take 2 damage. All right, that's the end of the phase. We survived. So Kang Immortus, I think we advanced to the final Kang 3, right? Remove the Chronopolis from the game. Easy. And then join another game area. I think this is where Master of Time kicks in. Says players cannot join this game area unless there are no other game areas. When all players have joined this, advance to stage 4A. Cool. So we're on our final phase, Kang's Wrath. Kang's Wrath says you use your enemy technology to reunite in the present day just in time to counter Kang's assault on Earth. Reveal Kang 3 and add him to the game. Reveal each face down Kang's dominion under the stage. We have none of those. Those are the bad effects if you don't defeat Kangs or you lose your timeline. So all we have to do is grab Kang 3. Kang, now the Conqueror. This is on expert, coming in with toughness and 25 health. Force interrupt when Kang attacks you. Either place 1 threat on the main scheme or he gets +2 attack. Attacks are 3 and 3, which is a lot. And when defeated, the players win the game. So that's all we have to do. The backside of Kang's Wrath. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile and set aside area for their nemesis minion, puts into play, engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck. Oh, sick. 10 threat is the limit. When this is completed, we lose the game. So our minion is Taskmaster. We can actually stun Taskmaster with Widow's Bite, I think, but Taskmaster is really interesting because only 4 health. But the bigger issue is that Taskmaster hits really hard and schemes really hard. Playing on standard 3, if you're familiar with that, is pretty tricky against Taskmaster. Shuffle the counter deck. I'm not going to do that because we didn't search it, but our nemesis here, Taskmaster, 4 health, gets +1 scheme and +1 attack for each upgrade you control. Now, Widow's Bite, we can fire here if we want to. I think we do. Says after a minion enters play, discard this to deal 2 damage and stun them. So it does 2. and a stun. And of course, because we have fired our Black Widow ability, we can do Widowmaker, so we can do 1 damage. I'm not going to do it to Taskmaster. Instead, I'm going to just ping the 1 damage to take the tough off, because that'll be a bit better, because currently 2 health on Taskmaster lines up perfectly with things like our Sky Destroyer, let alone all our allies. All right, final fight here, just 25 health. We are set up well. Our ops rooms are not doing anything, but again, I don't like the card. I think the card makes sense in the deck because it's a shield card, but just not my favorite card at all. And it's back to us. Dance of Death, not too bad. Do we have a shield card in our hand? We don't, but we can get a covert ops for Confused. Yeah, biggest issue, we don't have a shield card here. So that's not great. If we jump down, we can grab a card from our deck. We don't have a Leo, but we have a safe house. We can play anything and draw a card, which is nice. And we can set up a ready for a fight, no problem. Is this a return the favor angle? I think it is. It'd be really nice to have the synth suit, because then we can do return the favor and then ready ourselves, because we could fire off the practice plan, let alone the grappling hook. So I think we'll start there and just do as much damage as quickly as possible. So we'll play the practice plan, and then we'll just do return the favor. Return the favor says discard cards from the top of the counter deck until you reveal a treachery. Not the soldier. Energy blast. That's a treachery. It says Kang attacks you. We're just going to go ahead and use grappling hook to cancel that. So when you reveal a treachery, discard it. And then we can ping our ability with Black Widow to do 1 damage to Kang, and we'll do practice plan to add the grappling hook and deal another damage to Kang. So Kang takes 2 damage there. Now, we don't resolve this, but it doesn't matter, because return the favor just wants you to reveal the card. It doesn't have to do its text, and then deal 5 more damage to Kang. So Kang is down to 18. Cool. Feeling a bit naked with not that many preparations, but we can rebuild this. We usually do. We might want to recover. Covert Ops is a bit useless. We'll just use Winter Soldier. We'll just knock out Taskmaster. It's stunned. I don't think we care. We know where the gang up is. We can let Taskmaster chill. So I think we just want to do as much damage to Kang, because Kang hits really quite hard. So nothing to do here in hero mode unless we're going to do Dance of Death. So we could do this we don't need, this we don't need, this we don't need, and we'll just play Dance of Death. So we can do 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage. I'm going to just send it to Kang. We'll do 6 to Kang. Kang doesn't have any text like the last Kang where you can't hurt it without a minion on the table. So down to 12. We have 2, 4, 5 more damage on the table. That's enough. That's not enough to move the needle, but we'll definitely do 2 with Winter Soldier. Wheel flip down. Down here, we will play Practice Plan. Draws a card with an alter ego. We drew a Helicarrier. That's a shield card, but we can't really afford it. Then we'll safe house the search our discard pile for prep. We're going to use ready for a fight, just so we're not worried about scheming. Kang schemes for a lot for 3. We'll add that to our hand. We can't play all these cards. Oh, no, we can. So we'll spend 1 Black Widow's Gauntlet for the ready for a fight, so we won't get schemed on. I can't understate how important this card was for protection. And then we'll do 1 and Helicarrier to play the grappling hook. So we are fully set up with our range of preps. No shield cards, but we'll pass. We'll draw up. We didn't discard the time travel hijinks. I think they'll be okay. And we didn't use White Widow. We might as well attack for 1 into Kang for White Widow, because she will almost definitely heal this round, and then we'll pass. Drawing up. I think we do barely just deck out here. So 6 cards, power in all of us, another ops room, genius. Uh-oh, a lot of resources, not a lot of cards to play. Nick, okay, that changes it. And our 6th card, return the favor. That's a lot of damage. We do deck out. So we'll go for the shuffle, and then we'll see what Kang does here. I think we know where both advances are, so I'm not sure if we have to ready for a fight, but with an attack acrobatics, we're pretty happy of just sending the damage into Kang. All right, cut. And then main scheme goes up 1. And Kang is going to scheme now for 3 and a card, but we'll crack ready for a fight, which is pending now. We flip up to hero mode, and now Kang is attacking us. So we will block for 2. So we're definitely going to take at least 1 damage. Oh, we didn't recover, but that's fine. So boost card. 2 boost icons on master plan. So we'll do the thing that we do. So we'll fire attack acrobatics. So we'll cancel those 2 boost icons and do 2 damage back to Kang. So Kang takes 2. Then we'll do 1 damage with Black Widow down to 8. We will probably not practice plan, because if we're attacked again, we're not too concerned. So Kang attacks us for 3. We block for 2. We take 1. We're down to 4. White Widow does heal. Cool. Now this triggers. I don't think we got this one yet, because we did 2 for this, 1 for this. Yeah. So this fires also does Widowmaker. So we do 1 more. Again, anytime a preparation resolves, and that is the entire attack. Next, our Nemesis goes, but our Nemesis is stunned, just watching the festivities. And then we draw 2 encounter cards. First encounter card. Oh, actually, we didn't have to take the damage. We could have not taken the damage in ops room. Yeah, we definitely should do that. I forgot this was here. So we defended and we took a damage, so we'll prevent that damage and take the threat off instead. So we will functionally recover 1. Okay, exhaustion. I really don't like this card. Surge, exhaust your identity. Obviously, we're already exhausted, so we could just let this resolve. The thing is, if we want to grappling hook this, we can, and it does, of course, another damage. And this cancels all the effects of the treachery, so it does cancel the surge as much as we are, of course, already exhausted. Technically, if we cancel this, we're canceling an unknown card. The unknown could be a minion, or it could be an obligation or attachment, so we are canceling that. I don't know if this card is more scary. My guess is probably not. So we'll just go ahead and grappling hook this because we're basically in front of the finish line. So we'll grappling hook to cancel it. So it doesn't resolve. So we don't surge. We do 1 damage. We'll do it to Kang. And then we'll practice plan to add this card back to our hand. And practice plan will do 1 more damage as well. 5/5. Next card, future weapon. Attachment attached to Kang. When Kang attacks, the attack gains overkill. That's scary. If this attack damages a hero, that hero is stunned. After this attack, discard future weapon. And it's back to us with only 5 health here. We 100% have it. We have so many ways to do this. We'll just attack with Winter Soldier to do 2. Is defeated. Yeah, we have so many ways to do this. I think we're just going to go with a fast way. So we'll play Genius and Energy for Nick Fury. Nick Fury enters play, and we'll actually just do Nick Fury's alternate text, which is a deal 4 damage to an enemy. So that knocks out Kang the Conqueror. Of course, then we'll just use Sky Destroyer really quickly to finish off Taskmaster. You cannot let your nemesis survive till the end of the scenario. And that's it. We had a ton more damage there. We can hop down, no problem, get the ready for a fight, get that loop. Again, it is so cool. You have so much control. It feels incredibly powerful. Once you're built and you're spinning, it's up to you to use your toolbox for your preparations. Now, I've actually played my own versions of this off camera, but I thought this one might be the best one for the channel. While this is entirely not my deck, shout out to Solo Marvel Champion for posting the list. It is in the description. This one did more of the shield angle with Ops Room, and that's really cool if you want to play with some of the newer cards. The big difference is it's more of a protection deck, so we're running things like Unflappable, Change of Fortune, Electrostatic Armor, and Armored Vest, which I think are really great protection cards because you're blocking a fair bit more, which is nice. Our allies got a bit cheaper because I didn't play Government Liaison because I didn't think we had enough shield cards because I'm not playing Ops Room. So Sky Destroyer unfortunately misses the cut as much as this is one of my favorite cards in the game. So we played Grant Ward, which is just a cheap enough card to get on the table. I want to shout out Spider Bite, which is also just a fantastic new card for protection, let alone tech protection. Coming in for free, it means all our allies thwart for 2. Then of course you have your choice of other toolbox preparations. So Target Acquired is a really fun one. And also you can play Gemma because Gemma and Quinn Carrier, I guess this one cares less about shield support than the Helicarrier we didn't play. But Gemma is also really nice because we have a fair few tech cards and Gemma sets them up cheaply and is a shield support. I think both builds are really cool. As much as like the Ops Room angle, you play a bunch of the new shield allies and it's obviously a really compelling engine. I wish we got Agent 13 and could do the double safe house, which is a lot of fun. Shout out also to Kang, which I think really shines in multiplayer, but even in solo, it just is fun. Has a fair bit of variance in the setup and which Kang you're fighting. I think the arc overall is usually the same, but you'll end up on a different adventure every time. Again, if you want to try either of those decks, the link is in the description. Give Solo Marvel Champion a like on that deck list for sure. And otherwise, we'll be back in the next one. Again, we're in a bit of a busy spot right now. We're in the middle of a new job and a move. So we might not have content on this channel as regularly as we'd hope. Maybe we'll miss our Mondays, but if you're appreciating content like this, if you want to just give a like to the video or subscribe to the channel, it really helps out so much. With that, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.